welcome to Gotham City tonight. I'm Ryan Dole, and I'm echoing now all of a sudden. That's hang on, we'll figure. Hang on, I think we're good. We're good. Okay,
did that just fix it?
That just fixed it. Whatever you did, Alex, keep doing it. You did great. I am one of the hosts tonight. I'm Ryan Dole. And we're going to talk some shit about some DC collectibles. It's going to be a blast. So who I have with me is Alex. Alex, how's it going tonight?
It's going pretty good. Can't wait to talk about Todd respawning some DC collectibles.
Oh, that was cheesy, but I'm here for it. That was cheesy. And we have a guest with us today. We got Trevor from Neca. From Neca is his name. That's his full name. Dude, how's it going?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on. It's good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's good hanging out. It's our first time getting you on a stream this year, so
yeah,
this is it's exciting for me, anyways. No, I love having you on. This is sweet. Yeah, let's just hop right into it. DC Collectibles, since Todd kind of respawned, as you put it. Kind of respawn DC Collectibles, just in general, but he kind of, what is that? Does anyone actually know what that is? Because it's like, he's got Todd, but then he's like redistributing DC Collectibles. Is that how that works? Do we know?
Yeah, I think when he got the master license for DC Collectibles was a part of that. Because he's released like some of the statues and some of the like final figures that were announced like when that all happened.
That is absolutely bonkers. So with that, because he did release, what was it, the Batman The Adventures Continues toy line, and we know he's been really pumping out those DC animated figures again, re-releasing those, and we'll get into that in a hot minute. But right before we get super deep into this, just so everyone knows what we're going to be talking about, I want to say hello to the chat, because I almost would have forgotten, because I got so excited that Trevor was here that I wanted to get right into it. So we got Dorlaxian, Stanley's Toy Channel, The Deadheads, my boy Matt Bush, Brian Carr is here. Yeah, Ryan Dole fan club. Yes, that's still weird for me to say, but thank you for being here. Stanley Eberhard is here. Andrew's Gady's Toys. Again, such a fun Instagram account. Be sure to check him out. It's great. Stephen Lawrence is here. James Vitapol is here. Shiny Plastic People. Awesome. It's true. I need it, and could they please take their time? I spent too much money on DC figures already. Oh, we should talk about that Catwoman figure too. That was $100 today. Bonkers. Anyway, right? Tony Johnson is here. Shondo Gecko, Andy Stutes, who else? Jack Knight 73. Thank you for being here. Hello, love the Superpowers line. Still have not seen Black Manta or Reverse Flash though. Black Manta apparently has been showing up in stores. Can't speak for Reverse Flash. Yeah, right. What are you doing? Adam Copeland is talking. I know, but we got to start. Johnny Cock is here. Capital P. I actually said that right. Okay. Cougar McGillicuddy. Toy Art. Be sure to check out Toy Art on Instagram as well. Great work. Lots of awesome stuff. If you also like wrestling, he does a lot of great wrestling art. Brandon 3G and Brian Carr, and I think and Brian Brink, master of the charts. Oh, and Steve 3, my boy, Steven. I now do a podcast with him. I record on Saturdays. It still hasn't dropped yet, and I think we've recorded 3 episodes. So Get on it, Paul. And Mega Grayman. Thank you for being. Oh, and Michael Miller. Awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being here and hanging out. Yeah, where is Derek Hoover? Derek Hoover, where are you? Oh, Charlie Squared is here as well. Awesome. Great turnout. Thank you, everyone, for being here and hanging out. Yeah, let's should we just like roll right into this Jokermobile? You guys do San Diego Comic-Con? I assume. At least Trevor does. I know that for sure.
I do.
when that Jokermobile was announced, like, gotta be like what 5-6 years ago at this point. It was 2017 Comic-Con. Did you see this Jokermobile in person? Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can.
I saw it in person at the DC Collectibles office because it just was sitting on a shelf for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
It is cool. It's
then,
big. Like, I mean, it's a good size, vehicle.
Well, even when you look at the, because I have the Batmobile for that line, and that thing is a space taker. Like it's
massive.
It is.
They
big.
all are. The Batwing is gigantic. That's the size of a dinner table. Like
yeah. That's why I don't know.
This one, I remember that being smaller than the Batmobile, but it's still like it's a good size. It's huge.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I like that it's a 4. It looks like it's a 3-seater, 2-seater. It looks like you can almost fit 2 in the back.
Like I think there's a back seat,
and it lights up. So I don't know. Seeing this, like, I don't know. To me, this is super exciting because as far as what I can remember, this car was originally even supposed to come out with the Kenner line, and that got canceled as well. So it never made it out in the Kenner line. So I'm just like
in the 90s?
In the 90s. Let's see if I can.
So this is like a recurring theme with this.
Yes. This is
just the curse of the Jokermobile.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But I like that this Jokermobile, like, specifically is from that episode where a guy's trying to commit. He's like sunk on a casino he's built, and so in order to like commit like insurance fraud, he like reskins the casino to look like it has like a Joker theme, knowing that it will attract the Joker to come and like destroy his casino.
Yeah, he's like baiting him, right? Like he's just tempting him to. Yeah.
Right. And it's in like Batman's investigating. He finds that like if you just peel the like wallpaper, it's like you got like a nautical theme underneath. Like it's and so this like car was specifically from that episode as I think a car you could win at the casino.
Yeah, it should come with some like wallpaper or something. Like,
yeah.
You just like put on your shelf behind it, like do a little diorama display or something.
Okay. So like this one did come out. I do now that I'm seeing it, the old Kenner one. This one did come out.
Okay.
It was the Robin Roadster that was like destroyed in a factory mishap, right?
Yeah, that's we should like they should be re-releasing that if anything. But I swear there was another like Joker something as well that got canceled from the Kenner line. And now I can't remember for the life of me. But yeah, the Robin I had the Robin Dragster, right? That's it is awesome. But let's go back. Let's go back a couple pages here. Let's go back to this one here, this bad boy. Okay, I want to point out very like quickly, my biggest fear of McFarlane releasing this is it's going to come cell shaded.
I guess that could happen. They haven't released any other vehicles yet, right?
They haven't. No, the bike. Just the bike.
Oh, the bike, and it's got a blue highlight or something on it.
Yeah, they put a blue highlight on it. And they didn't. I think it's just came with the Batman with the helmet either. It didn't have the interchangeable heads like the original DC Direct one. I can't remember if it came with the stand. There's
I bought it. It has a stand. It has the little street with the little
manhole cover.
Manhole cover and the little like clear piece that looks like it's like dirt or smoke kicking up or something.
Oh,
like little effects.
It's
got all that.
It's super. I love that set. That was a great last. Like, I'm glad they were able to get that one out before.
It's cool. I hope they do a Robin to go on that bike, so you could have like the two of them. Like retool Robin's hips so they have ball joints or something, so you can like sit on the bike. Yeah. And then do like a helmeted Robin or something.
If you've been buying these, Trevor, were you buying the original line of these toys?
I didn't go all in. I got some of them. because it was just sometimes you know when they're going crazy with the line, and it's like, oh my god, like there's so many figures, you get kind of nervous. So I kind of just cherry picked the line, and I just appreciated it from afar, and then when I got a job there, I started like getting more and more stuff, so yeah, they're like, I love that they were doing like ventriloquist, and I mean, it was a pretty amazing line that they did. So yeah, I got a few figures here and there. So
okay, so now that you've picked up that bike and stuff too, do you feel like, to me, I always like see pictures of the Todd McFarlane re-releases, and for whatever reason, either the paint looks bad or sometimes the plastic looks off, or you could definitely tell they may have cut some budget there in the type of plastic they use. Have you been able to put them side by side and do like a comparison?
No, I haven't done that. I haven't bought any of the new or the re-released figures yet. I've seen people compare them online. Like there's guys on Instagram that have like compared with the cell shading and stuff.
Right.
Cell shading is a tricky thing to pull off, because usually less is more, and it's like, yeah, it's a little, and they're definitely using a different material, because all the DC ones were like a lot stiffer, like almost like an ABS or something. They were using a different plastic. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't bought any of the new re-release figures that Todd's done. I just got the bike so far.
Yeah, hang on. I just want to point out, Shiny Plastic People here. I was poor when the line hit, so I had the TNBA Batman, that's the New Adventures Batman, and then Batman the Animated Series Robin, and the Batmobile, which is also like, that's a good solid set to have. And also, Shiny Plastic People, let us know in the chat if you have done any of the comparisons, because I know you talk a lot about DC on your channel as well. And Mega Greymon, Jesus. As someone who unfortunately passed on the original line, except for a couple, I'm so glad Todd is bringing them out again. Which is great, which is, I think, the whole point of the reason of the line. It's probably very inexpensive for Todd to re-release them.
Yeah, and they can spend the money, like, with those Build-A-Figures, like Condiment King and Lockup, and those were characters like, when I was at DC, they were like, the only figure left to do is Condiment King. They were like, we can just like end the line now. We've done it all. And I was like, oh, we got to do like Roland Daggett. There's a couple of the people I worked with that there was still more figure, like another Bruce Wayne figure, and there's like certain things. So it's cool that Todd's going in and like, spending money, like doing a Condiment King or Lockup or some of these other characters that you didn't see. It's like a good incentive for people to rebuy the line. Yeah, and it's a fun bonus. Anyone that's just getting to it now, it's, that's cool. You get like an extra figure with the set. So
here's my follow-up question, if you're allowed to answer this. How far along were they with like the Bruce Wayne and all that other stuff, or was it just like on a list? Like, is this something Todd could still
I was there at the very, very end of the animated series line, and so I was working more on like the Adventures Continue stuff. Right. They did those last four, like the original Scarecrow, when we sculpted
so it would have been Bane, Croc, Scarecrow, and Poison Ivy.
And there was Grey Ghost.
Grey Ghost, like, another great figure. That was a great
figure.
So
when I was there, it was like, if we reuse some parts from Two-Face and Grey Ghost, we could make like a Bruce Wayne, like just a regular suit Bruce Wayne. So we had like a really crude mock-up that I had like just printed, and we had one of the guys paint it up, and I had sculpted a little like his parents' tombstone to,
That's dark, but I love it.
Yeah, well, because there's those scenes in the movie, like in Mask of the Phantasm, and like I think in a couple episodes where like the grave site is just such an iconic thing, Yeah. And I was like, that's a cool display piece. So I think one year it might have been in like a secret room at Toy Fair or something. I don't think they officially like announced it or revealed it, but we had plans to, keep expanding the line and adding in more stuff like that, like here and there. But yeah, so we when I was there, I don't remember ever getting to like a new Bruce Wayne head sculpt or like an expression pack where there was like multiple, like those were cool and they did those for like Harley and Joker and
I have the Harley Quinn one.
Yeah,
with the roller skates.
You know, so those were sitting at the comic
costume, like she's got that.
Yes, that is such a those expression packs were amazing.
Yeah,
when those came out, because the store, they were always there, and I did the classic routine of, I'll just wait. These are a bit more expensive. I'm gonna hang tight, but I'll get them later. And then next thing you know, the day I was like, okay, I'm going to the store. I'm gonna go grab them, and poof, all of them gone.
That's called a GCPD box set special, my friend.
Yeah.
How many people had those in their Amazon carts, and then one day it just became the most valuable thing on eBay?
Yeah. But those are going for hundreds of dollars now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
that Renee Montoya. Gold.
Yeah.
She the Ecto Glow, the scratch of the DC animated line. She's a great figure though. And again, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. There's a part of me that kind of hopes Todd doesn't re-release it. I always kind of find it fun when there's one super rare figure still that people just kind of like, even myself, I know that kind of hurts my own collection not having it. But at the same time, I don't know. I still feel like there's certain figures that should always stay high up in secondary value that, you know, that's why they're grail pieces. And
I think way to look at it.
I think grail pieces are fun. Yeah. Yeah. For you. Right. So it's, but that's really cool. They were going to do it's cool, but also makes me really mad that they were about to do a Bruce Wayne. Cause that's been like,
well, we were always just pushing for it. I don't know if they were going to do it. It was just like, we were trying to set them up with like, you could do this and that, you know, we would just try to make as much stuff as possible, you know, and just, you know, try and sell it or get some interest and everything. So
I think
it was definitely on one of those lists, you know, like we want Rupert Thorne. That was another one.
Rupert Thorne I've always wanted it, like Red Claw was up there.
Red Claw, that was another one. That was
again Dick Grayson. Just a Dick Grayson in his red sweater vest would have been cool. And Barbara Gordon, just any of them in their civvies, I think would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And and Summer Gleason is also another one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really wanted. Because another good vehicle release would have been that convertible from Harley and Ivy.
Yes.
Or from Harley's Holiday. Right? Yeah. Harley's Holiday.
Because there's the pink car that from Harley and Ivy,
which would have been great.
Cool.
Yeah, like, there's a lot like those that like the GCPD, like that paddy wagon. You know, that would have been cool. Like a squad car would have been great. Like with you just got those like Dick Tracy cars, you know.
Yeah, I know. Like, that's why I bought the Dick Tracy car.
Yeah, they work so perfect. So like, yeah, any of those vehicles would have just been great. Those old like Art Deco style. Like,
another one.
And the Riddler's so close. It's such an easy reuse.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's another one that another good vehicle actually would have been Bullock's car as well, where it's all dinged up and dirty, and he's got the light that just sticks on top and
full of fast food bags.
Just garbage in the back, like in the back seat. It would have been so much fun. Like Bullock's so gross. They should have just made his apartment playset as well.
I remember Alfred describes him as the cop that looks like an unmade bed.
Yeah.
So accurate.
It's so good. It's Stanley has a good one too. The police blimp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Throw your man up there. Oh, Kevin from Towing Around is here. Hey, dude. Yeah, we're no, these are great. And I'm hoping it looks as good as these photos. Still, like I'm really hoping that it does the light up feature. I'm hoping it's
we're sure that it's this, right? Because there's no image, it's just the leaked listing,
it is,
right?
It is, but it's there's only one Batman animated series Jokermobile that would have been made.
Right.
that he would have just been able to like pull out of the hat and just be like,
no, I mean, I'm sure it is this, but they haven't shown any kind of picture or anything.
Right. Yeah, they haven't I don't think at all yet. So, well, we're waiting. Usually when these lists come out, there's usually an announcement in the next like week, 2 weeks.
It might be blasphemous to say this, but I kind of want a Jokerized version where he's like spray painted like ha 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 like all over it, and like in the like black light
black
letters.
light. I would not be surprised if he re-releases the Batcave and then puts Old Man Wayne in there, like re-releases Old Man
Batman
Wayne,
Beyond style.
and then do a new face sculpt where he's got the Joker grin.
Yeah.
And then have the ha 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 all over the computer and the floor.
That'd be awesome. Jokerized Batcave. It's got like all those stickers you can put on the screen. You can just make like
exactly
Jokerized sticker set. You can just,
right. And then you have it light up with black lights, and then it has all the stuff in there. You could have, man, there's just so much with this line that they could have done that I wish were done, but I guess that's okay.
It could still happen. Could still happen.
And I was really digging the Adventure Continues stuff. Like, I know that most of it's been released like at this point, but there was that vampire Batman that looked so amazing. And I think that's the only one, or maybe the I guess Deathstroke came out too.
Deathstroke was out. He's in that first 4, I think.
Right, with the Jason Todd. But yeah, that vampire Batman still looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was a fun series to work on, and like we had Paul Dini like writing character bios for each figure, which I don't know if those had ever been published or not. There's like he was writing, each figure was like a lost episode of the show, and so like we were getting like these just like a paragraph or two from Paul that was like just unbelievable. That like the Red Hood synopsis was really, really cool, and the Nightfall, like the Asbats one he wrote, I don't think they ever did anything with those, but it was like, we were working directly with Paul and Ty Templeton on developing all that stuff. He was like knocking out all these sketches, and
Ty Templeton is awesome.
Yeah,
definitely give him the much acknowledged shout out. And I know that they did the comic. I think they're doing like different seasons, which are like 12-issue miniseries of the Adventures Continue, and that's been Paul Dini. And I know that he did like the Red Hood for that, and I think Shiny Plastic People points it out too. The Adventures Continue Batman Who Laughs is obnoxiously good.
Yeah,
because we don't want to like him, but sometimes we do.
So I would have loved a Damian Wayne Robin in that line.
Yeah, I'm sure he was on a list. I know at some point it was just every character that became popular after the show. It was like, put them through that Bruce Timm lens. So I know like there was like Black Mask and just like any character you can think of that became popular later. It was like we had ideas or thoughts for all of them. So I'm sure Damian was on that list somewhere too.
Oh, if already they're thinking of the Batman Who Laughs and throwing that in there, I'm pretty sure Punchline probably also had to be at the list, or at least someone's forethought.
Yeah,
I think, right?
She may have come after the line had already finished, like after Todd, like during Todd's.
Maybe. I'm actually. I'm not surprised.
When was Punchline? I'm sure she's on a list now, or.
Yeah, but she's like she was like a pandemic era character, right?
Is she pandemic era? Hang on. It was right after Tom King's run. Oh, it is pandemic era. You're correct. First appearance, April 2020.
Wow. Okay.
It feels sooner. It feels like she debuted before the shutdown, or maybe she was just already on the internet before the shutdown.
I think she caused the shutdown.
That was it. I'm just trying to. Yeah, she was April 2020, but I'm pretty sure she's on. I'm surprised, but also not surprised that Todd has not made a figure of her yet.
Gady's Toys, Professor Pig. That would have been awesome.
Yep. That would have been totally awesome. Ty Templeton. Okay, fun little story about Ty Templeton. So he was at Vancouver Fan Expo 2017. I guess that would be 2017, 2016. And Bruce Timm was also there. And I got to watch them meet for the first time. They have not met during the 90s at all. Or like even the 2000s. It wasn't until like then that they met. And they actually had them sitting like right close to each other. So it was like, I'm like, what? What? I didn't realize that could possibly happen.
I think everybody knows everybody. Like they all hang out together or something.
I didn't think they necessarily hung out, but I just found it weird that after all this time and all the conventions that they have not crossed paths. And the fact that Ty Templeton has been like the one doing the comics based off his artwork for so long, and they never met. Like it was wild. I never would have thought. Hang on, I want to bring up one more thing from McFarlane. This went out today. Looks like there's more up for pre-order because it was showing sold out earlier. We got a Bat Pod, Catwoman, Dark Knight Rises, everybody's favorite Batman movie.
I actually like that one. All the Nolan movies are fun to watch, but anytime Bane is on the screen, I get totally sucked in and like can't
help it.
Leave the room.
Yeah.
There's parts of that movie that are so much fun.
Yeah, someone just said that Canadian price is rough. Dude, you got no idea of what I'm about to show you after this. You're gonna see rough Canadian prices. Let me tell you, it's gonna be rough. And actually, I think this might be the American price. $94.73.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So Todd's been all about making things affordable, and as we've talked about before, Alex, on this channel before, we're starting to notice more and more that his vehicles or just certain characters are just starting to go up in like a crazy price. However, I could see where people would want this just for the Bat Pod and have their Batman on it.
Yeah, well, I think that, it's a vehicle and figure set. But yeah, it's that's more than the Batmobile, right? The like 89 Batmobile. Because that was that like $80?
That was like 60 or 70, 80 maybe on Amazon.
That was
This is another good example. You guys remember the Mattel Bat Pod from like that Movie Masters one they did? And that thing sat on clearance like at Target or forever. And that was one that I was always like, I'll get it like next week when I'm back. And it sat there forever and ever and ever. And then when I was ready to go buy it, one day it was just gone and you couldn't find it online. It wasn't around anywhere anymore. I was like, oh, man.
Clearance chicken, as they call it.
Yep. I think that's a line that Geek Dad Life Jay, I think he came up with it. Now I think we're all using it. It's true.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh, okay.
It probably factors into the price here. Like they might be making fewer of these because it's an older movie at this point. It's a little more niche, and so maybe it's just more expensive because there's less of them. I mean, because this is you get this through his site, or is it on Amazon or?
I haven't checked to see if it is on Amazon. But let's see. Oh, McFarlane Toys Store exclusive gold label 7-inch figure and vehicle.
There you go. So they seem to be doing a lot more through their store and through like online retailers.
Yeah, that's I got a feeling that's where things are going to start going more often anyways. Especially when people want to release stuff. I'm pretty sure this box is also pretty big. And I bet you there's somewhere along the line a store probably said, "No, we don't have enough shelf space for you." And then that was it. That seems to be a thing. But we'll see. I'm all down for that. I kind of wish Marvel and Star Wars would kind of do that more often too, where it's like bigger items or just more niche items would just show up on Pulse, because I thought that was the whole reason for Pulse to exist. But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. I don't know. I think the bike looks pretty cool. I'm not going to be getting it by any stretch of the means. I'm just you guys, are you guys into multiverse or the 7-inch figures at all?
Not so much. I do like the vehicles. I got the Keaton Batmobile. I did get this Bat Pod, mainly just for the Bat Pod. I missed out on the Mattel one.
Right.
So yeah, I do like getting some of these big vehicles that sort of never existed before. Like for sure, I've wanted a 110 scale, 112 scale Keaton Batmobile forever. No one's ever made one, so that was kind of like I need this, you know.
Yeah, you're right. I
did you get the one with the gray canopy or the second release?
I got both.
Nice.
I'm planning on
roller
customizing
skates?
one of them. So yeah, the one with the matte finish is definitely a little nicer, but as soon as that first one went up, I was like, I have to get this.
Yeah.
So I didn't know they were going to make a second one, and they were cheap enough. I didn't sting too bad to, buy another one.
Yeah, it's the cars are like his vehicles are nice, but I'm still just a little like, if it's going to be that big, make it a 2-seater.
That's
come on. Yeah.
That's the hill I'm dying on.
Yeah.
Where's the Vicky Vale figure?
Where's the Vicky Vale? I think that's what makes the DC Direct Batman animated figure so Batmobile so good. It is a 2-seater. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Makes it super wide too.
Speaking of super, how's that for a transition?
Nice.
I'm going to go on to ecollectibles.ca. This is a Canadian website. Be ready. You're going to see some Canadian prices. Also, if you want to save on some of these Canadian prices, use code Toying Around. Get an extra 5% off your purchase. They did announce the return of Superman Superboy figure.
Whoa.
I wasn't ever going to. I told myself I'm not going to get into MoffX figures ever at all because I was like, I'm not going to collect another. I just didn't want to collect another line. I was like, I'm collecting superpowers. They're $9.99. They're cheap. They're easy to find up in Canada. I'll just get those. And plus, it tickles my nostalgia buttons. I like superpowers. I love the superpower toys a lot. But this, dear Lord, this is so amazing. Trevor, I'm actually going to start with you. Are you into Superman at all, or does the nostalgia of the return of Superman? Is this anything that appeals to you?
Yeah, Return of Superman is cool. That was my entry into Superman comics. I was in middle school when Death of Superman and Nightfall happened. That's what really got me sucked into comics. I'm not as big a Superman fan as I am Batman. That is a really awesome looking figure. I probably am not going to get it, but that is awesome. They do really. I didn't everyone when that Hush Batman came out. Everyone was going nuts about how awesome it was, and that one too. I was on the fence for a long time.
Same here. Black and gray or blue and gray.
I can get it again.
Yeah, I don't know if they do. Does MoffX? They don't do re-releases, do they? They just keep.
No, they do. They
forward.
Just that blue gray Hush Batman is because I got that the second time around, and I think they re-released it even again.
That's good news because now that I see this, okay, I think Shiny Plastic People and I were talking about this on the Geek Dad Life Discord. Yeah, or he's just bringing it up here again. You're gonna need to break. You're gonna break for the Mafex Hush Robin whenever that happens,
or maybe
I
a
need
Nightfall.
Right?
Yes, they're doing Nightfall, Batman, and Bane, so they might do a proper like Nightfall era Tim Drake Robin.
Yeah, and what's even crazy about this, when you look at the faces for Superboy, it looks like Tom Grummet's art. So if they do a Tom Grummett Robin, I'm done. That's it. It's game over. I'm collecting these 100%. Even if it's just these two. But I know what's going to happen. If I get this Superboy, I'm going to want Steel. I'm going to want Eradicator. I'm going to want Cyborg. Because my mental illness, my mental illness says, no, you got to have all of it.
Yeah.
You can't just, like,
they've made all those characters.
They have, right? Yeah. I know they've made Steel.
And Eradicator and Cyborg Superman, and they look amazing.
And they did Superman in his Kryptonian regenerative suit, the black one with the mullet.
Now they just gotta make Lois Lane with the like ripped up cape.
Don't do that to me. If they do, if they do a Lois Lane and they do that with the ripped up cape and then like the crying and if they do the ripped up cape with like just the, no, can't do it. Can't do it. Why don't they just make Ma and Pa Kent while they're at it? Like,
oh man, I'd have to get those if.
Yes, same here. I would also have to get those just because we don't get Ma and Pa Kent.
Anything.
Anything. Yeah. So
no one's. Has anyone ever made Ma and Pa Kent?
No.
I can't.
I don't think it's allowed.
Yeah, well, I feel at this point we've gotten multiple Aunt May figures at this point,
right?
So I feel like Ma and Pa are long overdue.
Definitely. They don't make enough old figures. You get like Old Man Wolverine.
Like DC Direct, they made a Perry White with one of those Superman lines. Like they had Jimmy Olsen. And they're all like Golden Age or Silver Age.
Yeah,
that was the thing I loved about DC Direct was, way back in the day, they would do these like, really like artist specific figures, and a lot of them was just sort of boring, plainclothes characters, but they were kind of essential to the collection, So
I have that. I have the Mezco. Because I still haven't opened it. I always keep it close by because I'm waiting for a day where I'm like, I'm just going to film an unboxing. But I do have.
Good.
Those are great. Yeah.
The Mezco Superman. Hang on. I'm going to.
Yeah. That's a 5 points one?
Yeah, it's the 5 points one. Like even that has like.
With the robots.
Right? The robots, and it's got Lois and Clark and a phone booth. And I'm just like.
Yeah.
Mafex should just make me that. I would buy.
Oh man,
that's all the time.
Could do a Ma and Pa Kent too, a 112 collection Ma and Pa Kent 2-pack. I would buy that.
Yeah,
I would love. I had all the Batman Long Halloween figures that DC directed back in the day.
All the Tim Sale stuff.
I would love Superman for All Seasons. Obviously Superman, but then that Ma and Pa Kent are like the best because they're like they're so old, they're so wrinkled, like they have like the farm clothes, the worn farm clothes caked in mud.
Yeah, that's all good stuff. That's like I wish someone would make the like Aunt May and Uncle Ben, like when Steve Ditko drew them, like the original, where they're so old and like wrinkly looking, and
that's
like just like Ditko style, like old Spider-Man characters would just be
limbs as thin as a toothpick.
Yeah. Actually, even Tim Sale stuff, like his art, like if they transferred his style into Mafex as well at any point, like his Scarecrow, his Joker, any of that, And
Yeah,
it would be hard to
his
say no.
Penguin, his
Miller
Mad
stuff.
Hatter. Yeah,
Hang on.
his stuff's great.
Now
Got
we're just gonna look
this.
at Mofex, right?
Dark Knight
Oh
Returns.
man,
Joker
I am
with
in trouble.
his tiny cigarette. Look at that.
You know, I did get that Bane. I do have that pre-ordered. That thing was too cool to pass up.
Yeah, but Bane's your dude.
I do. Yeah, I like Bane, so I gotta get it.
Check
Yeah,
this.
those are awesome.
Oh, this is so good.
Those look great.
Man, we are living. Sometimes I wonder if we are living in the darkest timeline because we're getting some of the coolest stuff.
Yeah.
And it's super expensive. This is
the only thing I will say about Mofex lately is that, you know, talk about shiny plastic people. The plastic is a little shiny on the last few releases. Like Nightwing, it's pretty shiny. He looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Good looking figure, but looks a little shiny, looks a little plasticky. So I kind of hope they go back to more of that matte plastic look.
the matte finish. Oh, there's that. Dark Knight Returns, of course.
Man, this is the slippery slope right here. Because they're also all like $100, $120. Like,
Oh,
That adds up
miles,
quick. Buying Hot Toys.
right? I told myself no.
I got
My
that.
heart
ID,
says yes.
Ryan, is there any way you can like hide these Canadian prices? Because they're really stressing me out. Seeing.
Yes.
Is there a filter you can apply that just like
There is.
Oh, no, there is.
Wow.
There is. I got you. Don't worry.
Discounts.
It's still pretty bad.
And you can still use the code toying around and get an extra 5% off. So don't forget. Help Kevin out at toying around. But this guy's great. The guy that runs Collectibles is like super nice, and he'll just, you know, and they do the pile of loot style thing too. So this is great. If this is great site if you are Canadian. But just so you know, you Americans, you can order from here too. This is so now. Hang on, you guys. Mondo is doing animated 1/6 scale figures. So
We are indeed.
I think the next thing you need to pitch to Hector is be like, hey, we need a 1/6 scale 2-pack, San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, Ma and Pa Kent.
I'm already the guy that pitches that stuff in our meetings. Don't get me laughed out of the room.
Just send them this clip and be like, see, the fans want it. We should be listening to the fans. Right. Right. I don't think that'd be so funny. You haven't done anything Superman animated series at all. And then all of a sudden the first thing out of the gate.
Yeah.
Ma and Pa Kent.
And those are like the most generic versions of
the most without being like Lois and Clark, The Adventures of Superman.
Like I bet half of like if you watch that show, half of the people watching right now, you guys, whatever you're picturing of what they looked like in that show, half of us are wrong.
Right. I like this. Those X-Men are super dangerous too. Yeah, they're
These X-Men.
No, man.
Oh man, that Gambit looks so good. Okay, anyone, if you're not following Fan Plastic 4 on Instagram, go check out Alex's photos of that Gambit. Woo! Man, dude, that figure, something else. That's something else. And then also check out Mondo's stream they did yesterday. Hector and Peter, they did a whole stream on Orko on the Mondo channel. And they brought out Rogue at one point.
Yeah, Rogue puts in an appearance.
Yeah, so be sure to check.
Is awesome.
Yeah, it's super good. It's super slick. It's again like that's why I'm glad I collect Marvel Legends. They're slightly cheaper and I can world build a little faster. But you can't deny that these are also amazing. Like
this Jean Grey is great, but I didn't get it because of the blue pads on her legs, which I know there were some comics where it was colored that way, but not the like Jim Lee comics. And I think it was usually like a mistake, right?
Yeah, the colorist messed up. So why are they don't make figures of F-ups? We don't do that. This is a great figure too.
Are they re-releasing the Catwoman?
Oh,
they are. Hell yeah.
Pre-order. So she's getting a re-release. Right? Scarecrow also.
That Scarecrow's awesome.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, Jim Lee nailed it with the design on this one too.
And they captured Jim Lee like no one else. Although I was I was disappointed in the Harley Quinn. That's the only one that's like really let me down thus far.
Really? Let's see. I saw it here.
Again, it's sort of that super plasticky look.
Super shiny.
But also it's one thing to note with these is that the details can be pretty soft. Like they're they're like true 1/12, so they're smaller than like Marvel Legends. And so all of some of the figures, like the details are very small, and the sculpting has kind of like a soft quality to it.
Right. It's, I don't know, still pretty slick. I always wish that if you're gonna do multiple heads for Harley Quinn, one should always have the pigtails every time. Every time. And this figure is just awesome too.
Yeah, that move of him spinning the Eskrima stick.
Yep.
Like, brilliant.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
Right? That's like straight out of the cover. With him,
and he actually has a swappable back, like because he's got these little like tabs that hold them. But if you don't want that, you can just swap the back.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they really went the like. I don't know if I can do it without.
It's like going the extra mile. You know, if you don't want those little pegs on the shoulder blades or something. That's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I've heard that Nightwing has back, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Womp womp. That was like a Craig Goldberg level joke there. That was
I'm turning into Craig.
Yes. Your hair's still not messy enough, but we'll let you know when you get there. We'll let you know. One other toy I wanted to bring up today as well. This one was also announced today from Mezco. Was it we don't really talk about Mezco a lot, but I definitely want to talk about this.
Oh yeah,
I bought that one too.
Yeah.
He'll look good on the Bat Pod, like Nixon eras.
Yeah, sure.
Right, like that's perfect. That's like a first appearance Robin if I've ever seen it, but somehow it also looks better.
Yeah, well, he properly looks like a newsie or something.
I've got this one here on my desk.
Oh wow.
With that lantern jaw, some people didn't like it. I love this Silver Age one, and this is a great line.
Man,
they've got tons of fun accessories and stuff.
Yeah, they always seem to come with a lot, and this is another like Mezco as well as another one where I've always been like, don't do it.
Yeah,
because once I get one, it's going to be just I can't not just get one of something. I go, I don't know. That's got to be an 80s kid mentality, right? Like that's got to be.
You gotta have it all, man. It's just that's how collecting is.
Well, we were brainwashed with those commercials, right? Of just like, get all the action figures.
The kid holding like a whole collection, a whole year's worth of figures,
right? And it's just like, collect them all now, and they're just like, oh my god, I do need them. It's dangerous. Like, look at that, so cool.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Another
there you go. That's what
like that's what this is all about.
Yeah, the wall walk.
These are so good. These are so good.
Yeah.
Dangerous. I think this is the last time we talked about Mezco, because I was I was telling Lexi she had to get this because she named her firstborn son is named Damien.
Oh yeah. Well,
she needs it. So that's how I feel. This is cool too. This is one if you can't own just this figure. If you own just this figure and you're single, you will never get a date again. This is way too creepy. It's way too weird.
Just me and my man who laughs Joker.
Yeah. It's just right here on the nightstand. Don't worry about it.
Two buddies hanging out.
Yeah. It talks to me. It helps me sleep. Like, again, but this is so cool. Like, this is like, I see these accessories and this apron, and I'm like, come on, Mezco, just make a Professor Pig.
Yeah, it's so close.
Yeah. Let's do it. I would love it if Mezco or anybody would do Mitch Garrett's version of.
Oh,
I don't know, of anybody, really. I love Mitch Garrett's. I think when he does like the horror, like the really horror style villains, like Professor Pig, like Joker, Scarecrow, I think he nails it every time. Right.
But I gotta have that Frank Quitely Professor Pig. Come on.
That one's so good too. If they did that Damien and that Batman, like that Batman and Robin and Mezco.
I was hoping for like what felt like years that DC Collectibles would do a Frank Quitely like Batman and Robin figure line.
Yeah, Pink Flamingo.
Yes.
Right? Like
Catwoman even. Cool.
Yes. I feel like those the villains they fought during that era were so toyetic.
That Red Hood does like has anyone made that Red Hood costume?
Probably. I bet you if I look up New York City Comic Con Red Hood, for some reason I feel like
I bet Matty Collector, it was probably like one of the last figures they did.
I think so. With that big dome, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So good.
Oh, DC or Mattel, it looks like. Maybe it was there a Greg Capullo version that also it had like a huge like red dome with like,
but it was like you could see his mouth
here, right? You could see the mouth. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I love the Greg Capullo line too, but I also but like do like a Frank Quitely version of that. Be sick.
Yeah.
That would be that would be awesome. Yeah, Frank Quitely Superman. They did DC Direct did do that, didn't they?
Yeah.
I swear they did Superwoman, the Lois
Lane.
Lane.
Did both of them. I feel like it didn't really look like his
it didn't
work though.
So look at this. Every Batman, you just kind of scroll over. Sold out.
Yeah.
Come on, Mezco, get with it.
Yeah, you got to join the wait list.
Yeah, this is another Joker that you can't have on your nightstand.
Definitely not.
That is not a nightstand Joker, guys. Just a heads up.
That's not even a closet joke. Like you just can't have that on the premises.
Yeah, no, you can't. Someone sees that, you're gonna get put on a watch list.
Or it's gonna kill you in your sleep.
Yeah. It probably will. This Christopher Reeve is pretty good. Christopher Reeve.
I saw somebody did like a custom repaint of their Wonder Woman, and it looked amazing.
Man, I'm seeing the repaints of that Power Princess.
What's this Power Princess?
Yeah, that Power Princess. I've been.
Did you just hear the theme music when you see her? Like, you can't.
I hear
look at
both
this
theme
big
songs.
figure.
I hear Linda Carter and I hear Gal Gadot.
Oh,
I hear both. It's always a remix in my head. Yeah, man, Mezco's must be doing pretty good for themselves. Everything is join a wait list.
He's got a pretty loyal fan base, I think. People love the 112 stuff.
And they go quick. Like,
yeah.
No, because they're super nice figures. Gosh, I'm so glad I didn't get into those. I think I would have been in like serious trouble.
Gotta know your limits.
Gotta know my limits. And the one last thing I want to show off is another DC Collectibles line that was canceled, and I'm hoping that Todd will bring back. We were kind of talking about it before.
Respawn.
A respawn. What we want for a respawning is the DC Collectibles Lucha Explosiva.
Yeah, those were fun.
These are so cool. Just me being a pro wrestling fan to begin with, and also I love Mexican lucha libre masked wrestlers like a lot, and Japanese like masked wrestlers a lot too, right? Like I love them. I think they are so cool. I don't know have any of so I know we're kind of going a little bit off topic here already. This is my fault, but I don't care. Have any of you ever gone on YouTube and watched any of the old like Blue Demon movies?
I just watched El Santo versus the Vampires like a few months ago. Those old movies are awesome, or they're fighting like mummies,
werewolves and
werewolves.
Like the El Santo stuff is just, he's like, man, he was their Hulk Hogan. Same with like Blue Demon.
It was bigger. He was like a living superhero. Like, he was, I think in Mexico, he was like Hogan and The Rock and just like the biggest star of all time, like this living legend. So
well, he was like, because they would show up for like protests with the people, because I was like doing all like, because I couldn't help but to like do a deep dive on them. And like him and Blue Demon, they would like go out and they would, if the people were out protesting the government for something the government was doing shitty, they would be out there with the people. They would also go and do charity work and do food drives, and like they were, and like you said, and then like movies, and then go wrestle. And they would always be in their masks, and I was just like legends. Like they made themselves real life superheroes.
They're awesome. I mean, that was the idea with these guys, was like we had modeled Batman and Superman off of El Santo and Blue Demon. Like we had this whole story in our head where if we were going to be able to get like a comic book or some other like media to like tie in with these figures, and I remember writing out like sort of a timeline where like there would be these, like almost like they were in a tournament, and there were some weeks where like the Superman character wasn't there because he was filming a movie, so like he didn't have a match at this one. Either it was either a pay-per-view, or certain weeks he was just not there because he was doing other things like movies and charity events, all those things. So we were trying to work that out in our heads as we were designing these figures. And like Billy Fowler was the artist, and he was like the perfect guy or like it was just his style. I thought was so perfect for these things. And there was a bunch of characters that we had designed that some got sculpted. I think there's a whole second wave that like had never been shown or anything.
Oh man,
because obviously Bane's
gotta be
like
Bane was like one of the big bad guys. He was like the main it was like there was like a Lex Luthor kind of character, like a McMahon that sort of ran.
Of course,
we started getting into like like Aztec, like history and mythology, and we wanted the Solomon Grundy character to be sort of like playing almost like an Undertaker, you know, where he's like this, like, you know, kind of resurrected, like back from the dead. He was sort of like, we got into like this mythology that it was so much fun to work on these guys.
Yeah, I bet. Because like already in my head, like now that you're saying all that, I'm like, well, of course you got to make Max Lord like Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh yeah, we had
right.
There was Gorilla Grodd was going to be like a Gorilla Monsoon.
Right.
we had a gorilla position. I go, guys, like, and it was really tough to like. I always wanted to keep everything kind of more grounded in like lucha libre, but because I grew up with like 80s WWF, it was like I was constantly like going back to like American wrestling, and then we'd have to check with some other people that were like more. We watched a ton of Lucha Underground at the time, because that show was still going on, I think, when we were making these, and it was like, but yeah, I was like, oh my god, there's a gorilla position, like we can have Gorilla Grodd, and oh god, there was a Bobby the Brain Heenan that was like, oh man, like I think it was like Brainiac, I think was maybe gonna be like the Bobby the Brain character.
Oh, Bobby the Brainiac Heenan.
So it was something like that. And that my boss Jim, like he had some designs that he had, like Two-Face kind of had like half his mask ripped off.
Oh, cool.
Like this was probably one of the most fun projects like that I've ever been able to work on. And again, like it was all like Billy Fowler's artwork was like kind of key to all of it. But this was one of those projects. It's like at NECA when we started working on the movie monster Ninja Turtle mashups, like you just sort of dive into like anything's possible, and you're just like messing around. Like everyone was having fun. You get new designs from Groman for these monsters, and everyone's like geeking out. And you know, this Lucha Explosiva thing was just like, it was so much like Batman's face is like pressed into that chair that Deathstroke has, the folding chair.
Oh,
so like there's a little bit of dry brush, like a silver hit on the chair, and it's Batman's face, like he just smashed it into the chair.
Oh my god!
And that Gotham garage too, that Batman down there on the motorcycle, that was another thing that I had worked on. They wanted to sort of relaunch the Gotham City garage.
Oh,
and I kind of come up with this idea, like, what if Ra's al Ghul had actually destroyed Gotham? He like put it back to, you know, and it was, so the concept was sort of like Gotham City is now turned into like Burning Man. And it's just like everything's crazy. And I was like, you know, DC was doing all these like DC fandom like pop-up events, and I was like, we need to get a booth at Sturgis to like announce, like launch this thing, like get all these, we need to build like a motorcycle and like get street cred with actual bikers. And everyone was like, you're crazy. We're not going to Sturgis. This stuff was like so much fun to work. And Riley Rossmo was doing the artwork for all this Gotham garage stuff. So it was great. Like, you know, working on this stuff was so much fun. So, and then it all just got scrapped. So
how far into the production process did the Lucha Explosiva stuff get? Like, were these like tooled up, or?
If we tooled anything, it was maybe Batman and Deathstroke got tooled, but I don't remember seeing any and then I left like before these were announced at Toy Fair, like February, like 2019, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2019. And then I left. I was gone a couple months later. I don't think they got tooled, but maybe they did. I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, I hope so. I would love it if Todd resurrected these. These would be so much fun.
It'd be cool. There was like there was a Giganta that we did. That was
oh my god.
She was like an Andre the Giant character.
She had to be. Oh.
Yeah, she was, and it was like
That is so cool.
Oh, and Jesse Hernandez, we had started working with him at Urban Aztec. And so he did like the ring design. He did a logo. He was going to do.
Oh, that's what this is here?
Yeah, that's Jesse's artwork there. And then we had the mother belt instead of like the mother box. So that was like the championship belt that everyone was like fighting for. Jesse had done designs for the mother belt.
Oh man, bringing New Gods characters into this world would be amazing. Like
Mr. Miracle would be like
so great.
So good. Same with Big Barda.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the thing that we all loved on Lucha Underground, was like they had this like mystic Aztec sort of mythology, and there was like, you know, like Drago or a couple characters were from like 10,000 years in the past that had like come back to Earth. Like they had awesome, insane storylines and stuff. So
it was
awesome. These are so much fun to work on. That Wonder Woman was awesome.
She looks great too.
Yeah, I think it's Tony Cipriano. I think he sculpted most of these, and maybe John Matthews did a couple of them too. I can't remember. But yeah, Billy's artwork was awesome, and then like the people sculpting them, and you know, everyone painting them up. The prototypes turned out so good. So
yeah, I was really looking forward to this line. I remember being just being a big wrestling fan, and then this, it was like, this is perfect. And I was gonna say too, like, even like, have you seen those? Like, have you ever looked up Lucha Libre pulp, where they're like these painted pictures of like luchadors fighting dragons and like skeleton warriors?
No, I don't.
Or like sharks, or they're like wrestling sharks with like with a woman hanging off his shoulder. You know, it's just, hang on, let me just see if I can find it. Because I was thinking like those would make great covers. Plus, also if you just did a wrestling card as the cover of these comics or for the packaging, like, it would be amazing.
I kept saying, like, you know, when if they ever did make a comic book of this, they had all the word bubbles needed to be in brackets, like it was translated from Spanish. You know, like,
right.
You know, and like in comics, they'll put, you know, so I was like, yeah, we got to make this as like, you know, authentic as possible. And they were, this line was one of I was only there briefly for like a year and a half or something. The Adventures Continue Batman stuff, the Gotham City Garage, like, I remember they wanted to rebrand that Gotham City Garage thing, and so we were trying to come up with new names. And my favorite name for the new Gotham City Garage, where it was all like Burning Man, was just called Wheelers and Batmobilers. And they were like, they're like, no, we can't call it that. And I think they ended up coming up with like Engines of Chaos or Engines of Destruction or something. But every meeting I was in, I was just like, oh, the Wheelers and Batmobilers project, is that going on?
Is it a thing? Is it happening?
Batmobiler sounds pretty cool. Very catchy.
Here, this is what I mean by like Lucha Libre pulp.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Right, like they would, like, against like El Santo versus like Universal Monsters, like so good. But it's this kind of stuff that I just love.
Yeah, there was on Lucha Underground, they had it was almost like on He-Man, like they had like the Snake Men, like there's some faction of like luchadors that were all like snake themed at some point.
Yep.
Because who's that real tall guy that's like he partners up with Jungle Boy now?
Luchasaurus.
Yeah, Luchasaurus. Like I think he was originally part of some like these Snake Men or something, and
that kind of makes sense. There's a lot of wrestlers that were in Lucha Underground that have now since gone to like AEW, and like I think even Prince Puma.
Oh
like,
yeah,
he's Ricochet, right? On in the WWE universe.
Yeah, Prince Puma. Yeah, that's right. He was cool. Yeah,
he was cool.
Marty the Moth, Son of Havoc.
Son of Havoc.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, man, that was a great show.
God. See, now here, like, this is the kind of stuff I want to see too. Cowboys versus wrestlers.
Yeah.
This
Someone's
is what
got
I
to get on.
want. So someone has to do this. Maybe we should do it. Who do we know anyone that works the toy industry where we can pitch a toy line?
Not me.
I'll talk to Tony. I'll talk to Tony Taylor.
Super 7 made a couple of reaction figures. I think they made a Blue Demon Jr.
They did like one wave of a Lucha Libre line, and I think that's like, and it was awesome. But Boss Fight Studios is also doing AAA.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think so. They're like with their what is that called? It's just like their 3/4 inch line.
Yeah, I bought an extra that new Marvel Legends Tombstone because he's in a suit, and I bought an extra one so I could make like an El Santo. I'm gonna like sculpt a little luchador head because it's like a big suit body, like super wide shoulders, and like he's got that wrestler build. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna make an El Santo out of this.
Yeah, usually when we get some guy in a suit, it's usually either Kingpin or Jon Favreau. So
yeah,
this will be this will be nice to have. I love that. That new Tombstone figure looks great too. They did a great job on that. All right, you know what, guys? We're at that hour point. I like to try to keep things to an hour. Now we've lately been going over. I blame Alex 100%. Trevor, where can people find you? Where can they find your stuff, find your work?
Well, yeah, there's NECA Toys. We've got this great bat belt.
Yes,
man.
Which also you can find me doing unboxing of it in a Batman costume here on this channel.
That's right. You did an awesome unboxing. People need to find that. Yeah, NECA Toys. I have my own Instagram page, but I hardly ever use it. But yeah, NECA makes some cool Batman stuff still. Like we have some prop replicas and
you've got a Toonie, Joker and Superman coming out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we showed those off I think at Comic-Con last year. So
yeah,
those look so great. Like they're coming to me from Big Bad Toy Store. I haven't gotten them yet, but
great.
Yeah.
Those are super cool. All right, Alex, where can they find you?
Can check me out on Instagram at fanplastic4 FOUR. That's where I post my sculpting work and the stuff I do with Mondo. You can also check out mondoshop.com to see what I've been up to lately. And we have Orko on sale right now, who looks just awesome. I think like I get like Final Fantasy vibes from him. Like he reminds me of like a black mage, and it's just I just love that figure so much. And he looks great.
There is so much bang for your buck in that Orko, because you're technically getting like 3 figures.
And they all so that was sculpted by May Thamptaranya, and he sculpted the like cartoon style Orko and Driel and the like main Orko. So like his ability to just do any kind of super detailed, perfect cartoon accuracy, it's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And I think like because if you go onto the live feed, or they did or just go onto the Mondo YouTube channel, because again, Peter and Hector, they did a whole breakdown of it. So on that breakdown, they've got the concept art. They have the sculpting, just the sculpting renders before it's painted. They go through all the photography of the figure and a whole breakdown of everything you get with it. And it is quite amazing. That's awesome. I hope Mondo does that all the time now and do these beautiful breakdowns.
Yeah, it's cool to show like some of the behind the scenes process stuff. So yeah, if you're interested in that at all, check out that video. Our YouTube channel is at Mondo Shop. And check it out.
That's pretty cool. And then as for me, You will see me on Tuesday nights at on the Toy Anxiety channel, and then here as well every Wednesday with Alex. And that's it. I think those are the only plugs I feel like doing at the moment. I did a lot of plugs today. So thank you everyone who is here. Oh, Quip was here too tonight. That's awesome. Yeah. Yes. The Rogue is the best. But yes, anyways, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you all for hanging out and just chilling out in the chat. And you know what? We'll see you next week.